Hello everyone, welcome back to a very special video. I'm DTM as always, and we just had our Summoner Duels S rotation, and I managed to fight my way back to rank 1 max glory. Oh my goodness, I am so happy about this, especially after last time when I didn't make a rank 1 max score. I think I left it off at like 2200, so that meant that I had to gain 1500 glory this run. And I did stream my run on YouTube. Thank you everyone that joined the stream, by the way. It was super amazing. It is 5 hours long though, so this is why I'm making this highlight video, just to go over the highlights. But if you're interested in the full VOD, the link to that VOD will be in the description down below. And yeah, before we get into it, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz to help support the channel. Only takes 5 seconds to subscribe, but it truly does help out a lot. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. It would be super amazing if we can reach that. And yeah, as for the teams, honestly, there is not much to say about the first team. This first team is basically just a bait team. No one is banning it though, because Fallen Edelgard sucks, so yeah, that's generally always open. This next team is also a bait team. Honestly, I don't think Yuri is as impactful as he is without Erosion. And honestly, my Yuri is not that good either. It doesn't have lethality, it's just AoE and unmerged. And yeah, even with Chrom, even with Catria, even with Brave Erica and Azura, generally, like, I want this team to get banned, and thankfully it does. Like, the one time I had to use this team, I basically lost that match. If it wasn't for, like, some major mistakes. So, yeah, definitely don't want this team. My next team is my Ninjorrin team, and honestly, this team is my favorite out of this run. Most of it is unmerged or low merges, like Corrin's only at +1. Lucina is at +7, but she's mainly there for future vision. And yeah, Erosion, honestly, is such a good addition to Summoner Duels, especially with the updated effect. It just opens up so many more units to be used effectively, and I think greatly like expands the meta, because you don't have to worry about Hardy Fighter saves anymore. And yeah, so I'm super thankful about that. I really love Erosion, and Ninjorrin is just so good with it. And yeah, I definitely went undefeated with this team. My other team is with Leaf, Ash for some warping shenanigans so that we can warp in Leaf to hopefully take out the captain. Alm is there to provide more power with his wind sweep weapon. A Dagr to provide Pathfinder support. And yeah, Azura is the dancer for this one. I'm not as fond as this team compared to the Ninjorrin team, but honestly, overall, I can't complain. Super happy with how this run went. And yeah, let us begin. And yeah, let us begin with the first match we will be highlighting. This one, I managed to get my Ninjorrin team to get through. Honestly, my Ninjorrin team got through like almost every single match. It's kind of crazy that no one thought to ban it. But regardless, I do have my standard opening that I perform. I want to make sure that I move Ninjorrin in as much as possible to apply the threat range, because as you can see right now, without this block here, Ninjorrin would be like expanding the threat range to this line, essentially. And that is really good to apply pressure. Of course, Knot is there as well to further expand that threat range now that Knot is next to Ninjorrin. And also, once we have Legendary Sigurd into position as well, thanks to Lucina's future vision, he will also be providing that threat as long as these blocks are removed. And yeah, pretty standard stuff so far. For whatever reason, the enemy decides to take out this block. Obviously, that does mean that Ninjorrin can take out Nana, but if I do that, then Chrom can take out Ninjorrin, and they would gain a 1-point advantage due to Chrom having a captain-on-captain kill. So I decide to stall it out just a little bit and see what they decide to do. They decide to pull back Nana, which I don't think was necessary, but they probably were afraid that I would snipe Nana. Nana is definitely super strong, so they probably didn't want to lose that. And they also took out this block, which allowed Sigurd to attack Chrom. And yeah, from here, like, Chrom can definitely take out Sigurd with the movement buff from Azura. But the thing is, if Chrom decides to go in and take out Sigurd, Corrin would then go in and take out Chrom. And again, that would be a captain-on-captain kill, and I would gain the point advantage. But regardless, I didn't want to lose Legendary Sigurd, so I decided to move him back, and instead bring in Not. And yeah, so even though Not is in danger, I didn't really mind, because even if someone takes out Not, I would be able to immediately retaliate with Corrin. And so yeah, as you can see here, I am threatening this Chrom. This Chrom though is like super stacked, and I couldn't really damage him with either Sigurd or Corrin just due to this being a +10 Chrom. This was also a +10 Chrom too, yeah, obviously a very huge Chrom fan. Also a huge Robin, female Robin fan as well. They had an all Robin team, but I banned that. Yeah, and this is my surprise. Azura actually was able to take out Not. I guess she had enough speed to get through the damage reduction, but this was interesting because they used their Dancer to do that, which means not only can I get a captain kill on Azura, but I can also remove their Dancer. So that's obviously a super favorable trade for me, and I immediately took that. And yeah, they decide to move in their Chrom, again, a super tanky unit, but Lucina is fully buffed and has the auto double effect with Deadeye, and so I was able to take out Chrom, their Chrom takes out my Lucina, and then my Ninjorrin takes out their Chrom, and therefore that is again a more favorable trade because it's a captain skill. And yeah, from there it's basically GG's. I can just run away, or I could just go ahead and press. And yeah, from there it's basically won. So yeah, definitely a very good game. And with this first match, you can definitely see how this team works. Again, threat range is king in a meta with Erosion, and especially with the free Ninjorrin, this is only just a +1 Ninjorrin with an unmerged Sigurd, and they're still able to do so much work against that +10 Chrom. +10 Valentine's Chrom too. Our next match is versus Bandit, and Bandit here is rocking a very powerful legendary Lilina. This Lilina is +10. Unfortunately, their Captain Fafnir is unmerged, but Fafnir does have a Canto 2, which is really strong. Also have a far save Brave Hector, which is very interesting considering we have Erosion. I don't think saves are good in rotation with Erosion, because obviously Erosion is just super powerful. But yeah, I begin this match as normal, doing my standard opening, while my opponent here is getting set up. Karla is a very interesting unit, although I'm not particularly too fond of Karla since Karla has to rely on like either even pulse Tempest or on pulse Tempest. So my foe does break out the block, so I obviously just Future Vision in to have Sigurd threatening this Lilina. But honestly, even with that, they decided to just let it go. And I didn't want to necessarily lose my Sigurd like right off the bat, even though it would be a favorable trade if Lilina came in, attack, and then I attack with Corrin. I obviously want to make use of Sigurd as much as possible, so I decide to have him retreat. And yeah, so that gives my opponent the first move. Obviously they're stalling because, again, it's very hard to engage against Ninjorrin with Pathfinder. Again though, I'm not entirely too afraid of losing Not if I could trade it for a Corrin kill, especially considering Fafnir is not in range. But Fafnir does become in range once they repo him in, and so I positioned Khrom closer, and they moved away, which might seem very interesting, but even if Fafnir could have killed, the thing is, like, Fafnir would go in here to attack Not, but Fafnir can only Kanto out too, which would make him go either here, here, or here. And Khrom, obviously, even without the Pathfinder, could have immediately retaliated, get a captain on captain kill, and basically beat up points, which is super good. So obviously they didn't want to do that, but they also didn't want to expose their captain, so they had to move Fafnir back. Regardless though, Lilina is here, and so since they've used up all their movements, I did go ahead and attack Lilina, and Sigurd with the Pathfinder is able to repo Khrom back into position to protect her. And that is basically just a free kill, also gives us capture points, which is super cool. Obviously Sigurd now is pretty much dead, but getting these 5 points was completely worth it, since I generally don't need Sigurd anymore. They decide to take out Sigurd with Karla, which is an interesting maneuver, but that just allows me to get another captain kill with Khrom, taking her out. And now basically the only threat remaining is Fafnir, but if I just dance up Khrom, which we can do with the future vision, and as I mentioned before, even if Fafnir goes into attack, we can still reach. And yeah, my enemy just ran out of movement, and it's basically GG's at that point. So yeah, definitely very good games. And as you can see, there's a lot of very minute details when it comes to like what you're willing to trade and how to put these units in a favorable advantage to even take out units that have Kanto too. So yeah, super excited about that. And yeah, GG's. The next match we have is against Dragobite, and Dragobite here has a very interesting team. Dragobite has this legendary Fae, which is actually super annoying and super threatening because there's not a lot of units that can take out Fae, especially with the Miracle. They have Laegjarn as well, which applies at threat range, especially on teams against me who do not have a save unit because of Erosion. Triandra is the bonus, and Caeda is also a very strong unit in Summoner's Duels, especially because of this Kanto 2. Not running the hit and run build, but Flow Refresh is still good. And yeah, Claude is the captain, and yeah, I just begin as normal with my standard movement. They decide to move in Laegjarn, which is a good decision since it does immediately apply that threat. And yeah, just going through the standard opening. Having Laegjarn dance there and active means that I cannot break this block at all. So I sort of forced to stall effectively. And yeah, on turn 2, I did give my opponent the first move. And yeah, we're just stalling at this point, waiting for one of us to slip up. And yeah, if we move along, they decided to end turn with Triandra here. And they already used their dance. What this means is that if I dance up Lucina here, Lucina can, with the Order's effect, go here, break this block, and then Ninjorrin can come in and attack Laegjarn essentially for free. Especially considering that Triandra without Acrobatics range only reaches up to here. Ninjorrin could theoretically go here, take out Laegjarn, and Kanto back. And they can't do anything about that. And I think they realize that, so they immediately end turn, but as I mentioned before, I go ahead and take Laegjarn out for free. And yeah, super amazing second turn for me. And this basically sets me up for success. Now the one thing that is very threatening that my opponent can use to make a comeback is this legendary Fae. None of these units right now can take out Fae. Like, they all die. So Fae is essentially their win condition at this point. And yeah, they're just moving up Fae to create a lot of pressure on my team. And basically my idea was to try to pivot towards this side. Maybe like once they remove their actions or used up their actions, like break this block and take out their captain. That was what I was thinking. And yeah, this is just a slow and steady shift. But they decide to open the block anyways, which does leave Sigurd able to take out Claude. Of course, that would mean that Caeda would probably immediately take out Sigurd. But I did check, and Lucina, with the debuffs and the auto double from Dogen, is now actually able to take out Faye, thanks to the Plesion effect. Lucina using Grima's power, apparently, to take out Faye. Don't know how I feel about that, but regardless, we are able to take out Faye thanks to those debuffs and Plesion effect. And yeah, from there, it's basically GG's. They try to protect Claude, but unfortunately, with Sigurd being able to proc that special, Chrom can then immediately have the movement to take out Claude. And then from there, it's basically GG's. So yeah, very good game. Had they not made that one mistake on turn 2 of ending turn with Laegjarn early, this might have gone completely differently, as that Faye was extremely threatening. But thankfully, Lucina was able to deal with her, and yeah, GG's. Alright, we've seen enough of the Ninjorrin team. Let's show a match with a different team. This is the secondary team I have. Not as comfortable as the first team in terms of how I like to use them, but at least it's serviceable, unlike my Yuri team. And yeah, my opponent, Mortal Studies, have a very interesting team. Plus 10 Party Fighter, Far Save, Brave Hector, always a treat to see. Plus 2 Yuri with Lethality, fun times. Although honestly, with Erosion and everything, I'm not exactly too afraid of Yuris. I don't know why, they just don't seem as threatening, and I haven't exactly been banning them, as opposed to other units like Ash or Lilith. But regardless, the idea of this team is to basically have Ash, in a position where Leaf can go in and snipe a unit, preferably the captain. So like, once Ash gets Dance, Dagr can break this block and Ash can either go here, or stall here in case there is a threatening unit, like Yuri, that can take out Ash. They decide to pop the dual skill of Dagr though, so I decide to play this a bit more safe, and dance up Olm instead, in case I needed that more firepower. And I repo Ash in, and this is where I made a mistake, because obviously Yuri is threatening everyone at this point, thanks to that Pathfinder. So no matter what, Leaf is dead, right? I can't save the captain. So what I should have done is I should have used Leaf to take out Raphael, at least get some value out of Leaf instead of just being a sitting duck. And like, at least that way we also take out a Dancer and not lose out too much on points. But instead, I decide to take out Hector with Alm. That was a plus 10 Brave Hector, by the way, versus a plus 4 Alm. Obviously suited for more far save, but regardless, that mistake does mean that, yeah, Leaf is dead. So, rip Leaf, I guess. And then from there, like, I don't have any other units to be able to be used to either counterattack Yuri and whatnot. So they have free range over me. So I immediately end turn and just hope for the best. They decide to use Karla to take out Olm. And yeah, 8 points to 2, not looking good. So if I want any chance of being able to come back from this, I need to take out Yuri, because Yuri is the only one that can go in, attack, and then cancel out. And obviously the only way to do that is with Dagr, so even though it is pretty bad losing the dual skill, I have to do it. And so yeah, they decide to take out Dagr with Dagr. Very nice. I don't think Karla was able to take that out, because I think using Karla would have probably been the better move. But regardless, that does mean that I can take out Karla with either Ash or Azura. Azura was actually able to take out Karla, and if she wasn't, what would happen is Ash would have taken out Karla, Raphael would dance, and then Ash is not able to go in and attack Dagr. Azura would have to go in and dance, and Azura would die. And obviously that would be very bad. So I decided to take out Karla with Azura. And now, I am solely relying on Ashe being able to either one-shot Dagr, which is harder because she does have no follow-up, meaning my auto-double doesn't work, or to survive Dagr. If that does not happen, we lose, like, immediately. And, well, I'll just let my live reaction show what happened. Why aren't you dancing? Okay. Yes! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! So clutch! Oh my goodness! Oh wow! Oh man! Drive attack on Azura! Actually coming in clutch here, right there. So yeah, obviously a super great moment. Very clutch, an amazing moment on the stream. And yeah, from there, they can't win. And so yeah, I was able to come back from that, which I was super happy about that. Yeah, definitely a very good games. GG's Moral Studies. And yeah, let's go over one of my losses this time. As I mentioned before, my Ninjorrin team did go undefeated, and so obviously I'm not as fond about this team compared to my Ninjorrin team, even though this team has Dual Dagr and Ashe, which are very strong. My opponent has basically all plus 10, besides I think Triandra, who's obviously just there for the bonus. This is actually an FE6 theme team, apparently, besides Triandra, so I actually do respect this a lot. And yeah, this is just what I'm saying about how Erosion can make so many units just more viable, I feel. And a lot more FTP friendly, even though they're clearly whales. Although, let's be real, like, it doesn't matter if Lilinas were plus 10 or not, they still function the same. And yeah, as you can see, this is how I generally do my opening with this team. Having Dagr take out this block allows Ashe to either go here for Leaf to warp in and take one unit out, or just go here and stall. Which honestly, I probably should have gone up here. I was just afraid that Triandra could do some funny business, but that was one mistake. Looking back at it, I probably should have went in and taken out Lilina. And yeah, also, they decided to open, and this is one of the weaknesses of this team, is that Leaf is the only range threat, and so if my enemy decides to like move in the direction where Leaf isn't, there's not a lot of recourse against that. What I should have done here is I should have propped the dual skill so that Leaf can reach that, but instead, for whatever reason, I decided to dance up Ashe, which was not the good move, considering that Ashe immediately dies afterwards. And yeah, I still don't pop the dual skill, even though that's probably the best move here either, because with that dual skill, Leaf could provide more threat, and could definitely take out the Cecelia, which is being super annoying with the far save against like Dagr and such. But instead, I was desperate to get the trade, and so I decided to send an in. That of course meant that Lilina can go in and immediately trade it back, getting a captain kill in the process. And then finally, I decided to pop the dual skill. Way too late, I think. And even though that does allow Leaf to take Lilina out, especially after the dance, Catria is able to take out Leaf. And from there, it's basically GG's, as with the captain gone, with the Erosion gone, neither of these units can take out this plus 10 Cecelia, who is super strong, actually, against these two. And yeah, so from here, they basically won. So basically my best hope is to somehow try to outmaneuver my opponent to maybe like snipe out Triandra, who's out of far save range. But unfortunately, they were really smart. They played super aggressively to take out my Dancer. And from there, like, there's really nothing I can do. So yeah, very good games. obviously a huge fan of FE6 and Lilina. But, I mean, I still respect it. And yeah, definitely super good games. Very interesting teams, and yeah. And yeah, on to the final match. This was my final match of my run, and for context, I have used up all my remaining losses. So if I lose this match, I can't continue. Obviously, if I win this match, I reach rank 1, and therefore don't need to continue. So outside of a draw, this was it. It's do or die at this point. And so yeah, I'm versus a very interesting team who has a Halloween Myrrh plus 10 with the Hardy Fighter far safe build. Caeda is only plus 1, Chrom is only plus 4, Triandra is plus 10, which I really respect, and Hapi is also plus 6. So obviously a lot more merges than what I have on my main carries. Yeah. So going into this match, I was basically at a mind state of taking absolutely no risk. Because again, do or die, it is going to be the last match unless it's a draw. And so I didn't want to take any unnecessary risks that might make me lose. Unfortunately, that does meant that I sort of turtled, even if I could have made some plays. But I mean, that's just the name of the game, right? And yeah, obviously, what I could have done, honestly, is I could have opened this block with Lucina. If I opened the block with Lucina, even though Hapi will be able to reach, Hapi cannot cancel out, which meant that I can immediately take her out with Corrin, get a captain on captain kill, and then basically get a point advantage. Alternatively, Chrom is the one that goes into attack, but again, that doesn't change. I still go in and attack Chrom, get a captain kill, and get a point advantage. But as I mentioned before, I didn't do any of that because I was way too risk averse. So I just played it super safe, and my mindset at this point is it's okay if it draws. Like, I'd rather play safe than risk losing this final match. Even if I could have made some amazing plays that probably could have worked out in my favor. So yeah, we're just stalling because I was too scared. Yeah, very riveting gameplay for the final match. But honestly, during the stream, it was super high tense because again, there was so much on the line. This was, if I lose everything. If I win, I gain everything. And yeah, again, like with this state right here, Lucina can go in attack, and then actually Hapi in this position can't even go into attack, so it's only Chrom that can attack Lucina. And again, like Corrin can reach Chrom and take Chrom out probably, especially with the Peony's cardinal direction buff plus joint drive attack. But I was too much of a chicken. So yeah, this is what happens when we're scared. More stalling. So yeah, again, I was playing with the mindset that it's okay to draw, but they decided to pop the duel skill. It is the final turn, so there's no harm in doing so. That obviously means that taking out Chrom is a more risky proposition, especially with Ninjorrin having colorless disadvantage. And they decide to go ahead and take out this block, relying on that grand strategy to be able to survive Sigurd. And unfortunately, Chrom does survive Sigurd by 7 HP. But even if like Sigurd does take out Chrom, it would not be a good move because Hapi could then just go in and attack, get a captain point, and then cancel out, and that would give them the point advantage, which is super critical in this final turn. So yeah, again, I did decide to like try to move Peony up here for the cardinal direction buff to try and threaten Chrom. If I move in with, obviously if this does allow Sigurd to take out Chrom, I probably still wouldn't do it because again, that would just be disadvantage to us. But they decided to risk it all and move in Chrom here. Obviously, Corn cannot take out Myrrh, and Sigurd, without the Cardinal Direction buff, is unable to take out Chrom. But, thankfully, we have Ninjorrin here. And, well, Ninjorrin is able to take out Chrom. We gain a kill. Hapi cannot do anything because she's not in range. And yeah, that was GG's. So, a very tense Mexican standoff, I guess you call it, for the final match. But it was such a relief being able to win this match and make rank 1. It was so satisfying. It feels really good, especially considering that I did not make it last time we had SDS, and I had to gain like 1500 glory. I streamed for like 5 hours doing this, which was definitely a marathon, but I still enjoyed it, and I'm super glad I had this to share with all of you and share the experience with all of you. And yeah, super thankful for everyone that supported me. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed this recap of my SDS run, fighting back to rank 1. And if you did, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz to help with the channel. Again, we're so close to 1,000 subscribers. It would be super amazing if we reach that. Only takes 5 seconds to subscribe, but it truly does mean the world. And I really do appreciate all the constant support. Let me know how your Summoner Duels runs went this time. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and see you all next time.